Indirect experience is your escape. Direct experience is the truth. You are addicted to indirect experience because direct experience ends you. Indirect experience is why you are stuck. Direct experience is the only way out. Indirect experience is your escape. Direct experience is the truth. Escape from what? From being exposed. Indirect experience lets you think about action without acting, feel emotions without risking anything, build options without consequence. You can sit for hours watching fitness videos without sweating, studying sales without facing rejection, reflecting on life without changing a single behavior. It feels like movement, but it is carefully designed non contact. It's like standing outside a fire, describing its warmth while never stepping in. Direct experience is not comfortable, it removes distance. You don't think about discipline, you wake up and train when you don't feel like it. You don't learn sales, you call and get rejected. You don't analyze loneliness, you sit in silence and feel it fully. And in that contact, something brutal happens. There is no room left to pretend. That is truth. You are addicted to indirect experience because direct experience ends you. Ends what? Not your life, your image of yourself. Right now, you carry invisible statements. I am someone who is improving. I am someone who understands deeply. I am disciplined or becoming disciplined. These survive only in indirect experience because in thought you can edit reality. But step into direct experience. You skip the gym. There is no I am disciplined. You avoid a call. There is no I am building courage. You sit alone. There is no I am peaceful, only restlessness. Your identity doesn't get refined, it gets exposed. And exposure feels like death to the ego. So you unconsciously choose more learning, more planning, more consuming, not for growth, but to protect the image. Indirect experience is why you are stuck. Direct experience is the only way out. You think you are stuck because you need better strategy, more clarity, more knowledge. But look closely. You already know enough to take the next step. You are just not taking it. Why? Because taking it would move you from imagination to reality. And reality has consequences. Indirect experience creates a loop. Consume, feel motivated, imagine action, do nothing, repeat. You feel busy, you feel like you are progressing, but your life doesn't move. Direct experience breaks the loop instantly, not gradually, instantly. Because the moment you act, the illusion collapses, feedback becomes real, adjustment becomes necessary. Now you are no longer thinking about the game, you are in it. The core of what I am pointing at. I am not asking you to improve, I am asking you to see most of your life is happening in your head, not in reality. And as long as that continues, nothing real can change. The uncomfortable ending. You don't need more insight, you need contact. And contact will feel like resistance, discomfort, uncertainty. That's how you know it's real. So the real question is not, do I understand this? The real question is, where in my life am I still choosing indirect experience right now? And then, no philosophy, no reflection, just step into it. That step is the entire shift. You are addicted to echoes, not reality, echoes of reality. That is what I would point you toward. Indirect experience. This is everything you hear about, read about, watch, imagine, or mentally simulate. You watch a video on discipline, you feel charged. You read about heartbreak, you feel understood. You listen to a podcast on success, you feel like you are progressing, but nothing has actually happened. You are sitting still, consuming echoes. It is like reading 100 books on swimming and never touching water. Your mind says, I know. Reality says, you have never entered. Indirect experience is seduction because it gives the illusion of movement without the risk of truth. Direct experience. This is raw, unfiltered, uncomfortable. You step into the gym and your muscles fail. You make a sales call and get rejected. You sit alone without distraction and face your emptiness. You speak to someone honestly and feel exposed. No narration, no interpretation, no story, just contact with reality. The brutal difference. Indirect experience strengthens the identity, direct experience dissolves it. Indirect says, I am becoming someone. Direct shows, there is no one here, only action happening. Why you keep choosing indirect? Because direct experience burns. In indirect, you are safe, in control. In direct, you are naked, uncertain. Indirect lets you feel like a warrior. Direct shows you whether you actually are one. The trap. You think I am learning, I am growing. But most of the time you are just refining your imagination. More concepts, more language, more identity, less reality. What I would cut through. I would not tell you to balance both. I would say the man drowning in indirect experience will never touch truth. Because truth is not in descriptions, truth is only in contact. A simple test. Ask yourself, did I do it, or did I think about it, read about it, or talk about it? If it's a second, it's indirect. Final strike. You don't fear failure, you fear direct experience because it ends the story you have about yourself. And without the story, who are you? Indirect experience strengthens the identity. Every time you consume without contact, something subtle happens. You add to the image of yourself. You read about discipline. I am someone who values discipline. You listen to deep ideas. I am someone who understands truth. You reflect beautifully. I am someone who is aware. See the pattern. You are not changing reality. You are decorating the self image. And identity feeds on this. It says, keep going. We are evolving. But nothing real has been risked. Nothing real has been touched. So identity grows fast without ever being tested. Direct experience dissolves it. Now step into something real. Not theory, not thought, not preparation. Reality. You attempt something and fail. You speak and your voice shakes. You sit in silence and there is restlessness, boredom, even fear. In that moment, there is no time to say, I am disciplined, I am aware, I am strong. All of that collapses. Because reality does not care about your story, it only reveals what is happening, what you actually do. And in that exposure, identity cannot survive. It has nothing to hold on to. Indirect says, I am becoming someone. Becoming is the most beautiful lie. It stretches endlessly into the future. I will become disciplined. I will become successful. I will become peaceful. And as long as you are becoming, you never have to be. It protects you from the present. Because in the present, the truth might be you are inconsistent, you are afraid, you are avoiding. So the mind invents a timeline, not now, but soon. That soon is where identity lives forever. Direct shows there is no one, only action happening. When you are fully in direct experience, something strange happens. There is no narrator, no one saying, I'm doing well, I'm failing, this means something about me. There is just breath, movement, effort, sensation, pure happening. The you that usually comments, judges, builds identity, goes silent. Not because you killed it, because it has no role in reality. Reality does not need a storyteller. Truth is not in descriptions, truth is only in contact. You can describe fire perfectly, its temperature, its color, its chemistry. But until you touch it, you don't know fire. All descriptions are safe distances. Contact is dangerous, and truth only exists where there is no distance. You don't fear failure, you fear direct experience. Failure is just a word. What you actually fear is exposure, uncertainty, loss of control, the collapse of who you think you are. Because direct experience does not negotiate, it shows you not who you think you are, but what you are right now, and that can be uncomfortable. So the mind says, let's prepare more, let's learn more, let's think more. But beneath all of that, it is just avoiding contact. Without the story, who are you? This is the part the mind cannot answer. Because the mind is the story. Remove your past, your labels, your ambitions, your identity. What remains? Not an answer, just a silence. And that silence feels like death through the identity. But it is the only place where something real can begin, the quiet truth. You are not stuck because you lack knowledge. You are stuck because you are overfed on indirect experience. and starving of reality. If this hits, don't turn it into another idea. Pick one thing today, just one, and enter it without narration. No story, no identity, no becoming, just contact. That is where everything changes. There was once a man who lived beside an ocean. Every day he spoke of the sea. He collected books about it. He watched travelers return and listened to their stories. He studied waves, currents, storms, depth. He could describe the ocean better than the fisherman. He could explain its moods, its dangers, its beauty. People came to him and said, "You understand the ocean deeply," and he believed them. But there was something strange. He never entered the water, not once. Instead, he built a room facing the sea. On its walls, he painted waves. On his table, he placed shells. In his ears, he played the sound of tides. At night, he would close his eyes and imagine, "I am swimming, I am diving, I am becoming one with the ocean." And sometimes it felt so real that he smiled. Years passed. His language became richer, his imagination sharper, his identity stronger. "I am a man of the ocean," he would say. One day, a quiet stranger arrived. He did not ask questions. He did not praise the man's knowledge. He simply looked at him and asked, "Have you touched the water?" The man laughed. "You don't understand," he said. "I have studied it my whole life. I know its depths." The stranger said nothing. He just walked toward the shore and stepped in. The man watched. At first, nothing happened. Then the stranger went deeper. The waves began to push. The body began to struggle. The breath began to change. There was no poetry now, no descriptions, no identity, just cold water, just movement, just a survival. For the first time in his life, the man felt something crack inside him. All his words, all his understanding, all his certainty felt weightless, useless. He looked at his room, at the painted waves, at the carefully collected shells, and he saw it. Not beauty, not knowledge, but distance. He realized every book he read, every thought he entertained, every story he told of himself was a wave of staying dry. His entire life had been an elegant escape. He walked slowly toward the shore. His mind screamed, "Wait, prepare more, learn more, understand more." But something deeper was silent. He stepped in, and in that instant, the ocean erased him, not his body, but the man who said, "I understand the ocean." There was no one left to describe it. Only water, only breath, only movement. And for the first time, there was no distance between him and truth. That is the difference. Indirect experience is the room, the books, the imagination, the identity of one who knows. Direct experience is the water. And the moment you enter it, the one who was becoming someone cannot survive. So the question is not, do you understand the ocean? The question is, why are you still standing on the shore? In the end, nothing you gathered will matter. Not the ideas, not the language, not the identity you've carefully built around understanding. All of it belongs to the shore. There comes a point where the question is no longer, do I understand, but only, have I stepped in? Because truth does not reward the one who knows, it reveals itself only to the one who enters. And in entering, you don't become something, you lose everything that was never real to begin with. So, the end note is simple, almost uncomfortable in its simplicity. Stop preparing for life, stop describing life, stop imagining life, step in. Even if it shakes you, even if it strips you, even if it ends the version of you that felt safe. Because on the other side of that step, there is no philosophy left, only reality. And for the first time, no distance between you and it.